Have you ever worked with someone who genuinely believed the world revolved around them? Someone who disrespected you, talked down to you, and treated you like you were beneath them? I did. And after months of being underestimated, I delivered workplace karma that still makes me smile. This wasn't loud. No arguing. Just a perfectly timed move that shattered his arrogance. If you've ever had a coworker push you too far, hit like. And if you love real stories of justice served, subscribe. This one's delicious. I'm Lena. At 23, I worked as a hostess at a massive 3-floor bar and grill in Harbor City. Busy weekends, chaos everywhere. But nothing compared to Kyle Mercer, a lead bartender. Kyle wasn't obviously rude. He didn't yell. He just Kyle-splained. Everything became a lecture. Every shift, he'd say, "Lena, my section is prime. Keep the big spenders coming my way." I smiled, thinking, how am I supposed to identify big spenders by their footsteps? I seated guests fairly. It worked until it didn't. One Saturday, a birthday group of older women came in. I seated them in Kyle's section. They ordered modestly, left a small tip, and Kyle lost it. You should have known they weren't going to spend anything. Why seat them here? I blinked. They were next in line. Your section was open. He snapped. You cost me a high-tip table. Do better. Something inside me cracked, not anger, but resolve. Over the next month, Kyle became unbearable, lecturing me in front of servers and customers. But life has a funny way of giving opportunities. One hectic night, Kyle was speed washing glasses and shaking cocktails for 2 girls at the bar. He muttered, "Maybe try not to ruin my section tonight." That's when the idea came, not out of anger, but poetic justice. Kyle loved showing off in front of attractive customers. I decided to hit his pride. I quietly slipped behind the bar with a bucket of warm water mixed with leftover citrus pulp and poured it into the floor drain. Perfect timing. Heart pounding, I walked away. 30 seconds later, Kyle leaned toward the girls with his signature grin. Just as a wave of unpleasant smell drifted up, he stiffened, his face twisted in horror. The girls whispered, confused. Kyle tried to play it cool but panicked, calling a manager. Too late. The damage to his ego? Complete. He avoided me the rest of the night. Weeks later, any strange smell made him panic. I just seated guests quietly, politely, with the serene satisfaction of justice. Kyle eventually complained to management. Maintenance found nothing. Absolutely nothing. He looked ridiculous. After that day, he never lectured me again. Not once. Sometimes revenge isn't loud or destructive. Sometimes it's just restoring balance. Respect isn't optional. Watching karma work was incredibly satisfying. If you enjoyed the story, hit like, subscribe for more underdog victories, and tell me in the comments, what's the most memorable revenge you've ever seen?